earthquakes, tidal waves, light, and even the sound that you're hearing is all a product of wave motion. What you may not know is that there's two kinds of waves, and those waves do very, very different things. And I could demonstrate those two waves to you with this real long spring that I've got here. We're going to stretch this out towards you, just like you were holding the other end of it. There's two ways I can put energy into this spring. One way I can do it is to squeeze up this spring like this, and then let it go. Watch what happens. Now that's called a longitudinal wave. It's where particles push down the length of the wave. Now longitudinal waves are involved in stuff like earthquakes, sound, all kinds of shock. Like when a car hits a wall or something, a wave travels through the car. And that's called a longitudinal wave. The other type of motion I could put in there, instead of snapping the spring like this, which is long waves, is that I can move my hands up and down like this. And watch what happens if I do that. And you can see that's a different type of wave. That's called a transverse wave. Transverse waves are things like light, radio. Also has to do with all the things that happen in electronics and in your computer. By the way, I'll just show you that sometimes these transverse waves can get kind of complex. We're going to put a wave in that's going to be what's called a torsional wave. So instead of just going this direction, I'm going to move the thing around and around like that. Watch what happens when I do that. So we get a very different type of wave. And one of the things that's kind of interesting there is that in torsional waves like that, we have the kind of thing that goes on at the exhaust of an airplane, for example, or in weather. And one of the things you can also notice is that there's different ways that the energy can be transmitted down this spring. If I move my hand real slowly up and down like this, you can see I get just one loop. If I move my hand twice as fast, then I get two loops. Now if I can move it really, really fast, I could get maybe 3 or 4 loops. Let's try that. And you can see that the faster I move my hand, the more loops I get. So that's one of the things that we call frequency. And the frequency of a wave determines how the wave is used. It answers the question in sound, but also in light. The difference between blue light and red light is how fast that wave is propagated, the frequency of the wave. The difference between a real low note and a real high note is how much frequency is put into the wave. It's kind of interesting to see the way these different kinds of waves work. So what we're going to do in a couple of our experiments here is we're going to study how waves function. And the first kind of wave we're going to look at are longitudinal waves, waves in which it is snapped like that, in which the wave is actually moving lengthwise up and down the spring. So this is stuff like earthquakes, things like sound. One of the ways in which we can demonstrate this is to talk about earthquakes. So we're going to show you an earthquake. I've got some ribbon here. I want to come up towards you a little bit. I'm going to put this ribbon around the spring so that you can see what happens in the spring when this comes by. Okay? Watch what happens to that ribbon when I snap the spring here, when I send a longitudinal wave down the spring. Wow, see how much that goes back and forth, how sharply that moves? Watch that again. You just focus on that ribbon and watch what happens. Can you imagine now if you had a great big tall building, 75 stories high skyscraper, and the bottom of the building moves like that? What's going to happen? Well, you can see that the building's going to fall down, isn't it? In the old days, they used to be able to tell where an earthquake came from because the buildings in different places would have the way they fell pointing towards where the earthquake had come from. And that was called the epicenter. And the epicenter was just the place where the ground slipped and produced the earthquake. But the earthquake is a longitudinal wave, and the longitudinal wave is what does the damage. So you can see something about earthquakes connected with waves. A lot of people don't realize that earthquakes are caused by waves. But sound is caused by waves. The same kind of motion that we're talking about here, as the waves are compressed and move through, they actually travel through the material, just like what you see happening with this spring. So let me ask you something. You're watching a movie about a war in space, and somebody blows up a spaceship or something like that, and you hear this huge explosion. Is that what would happen? See, if you're out in space and if there's a big explosion, you don't hear anything. because there's nothing for the sound to travel through. There's nothing to compress like that. You have to have a material to compress for the wave to travel. So that means that sound doesn't travel in space. Space is absolutely quiet. So it's kind of interesting the way in which waves are used for the transmission of energy. And God has designed all kinds of different sorts of waves. It can be used in all kinds of different ways by man.